I'm just making a quick video regarding various things happening in the world around us. First, what's happening around us. We reached 99 today, and this was actually yesterday, I believe. 99 degrees was the new record high temperature. Previous record in 1953 was 91. So it was actually officially the hottest October start to October on record. They said that it smashed previous record highs. They said it's an all-time hottest temperature ever recorded in October, and it ties the hottest temperature that we've recorded this year, period. They said these are the hottest temperatures we've had all summer this October. That was a weird thing to hear. These are the hottest temperatures we've had all summer this fall. So it was like that sweltering summer sizzle. Some people liked it, some people didn't. They call it Hot-tober, and some people called it climate change. Some people called it, yeah, there's all kinds of statements people had to say about it, but regardless, it reached 99 degrees both today and yesterday, and I think it'll cool down, and we'll be 70s and upper 60s for high on Monday, and 40s for the low. So my prediction of mid-October, I predicted the 14th through the 17th we would experience some 40s and 30s, so that's looking to be on track for my prediction back a couple of months ago. Let me go ahead and pause this video. Now, something that many should really keep their eyes on, a graveyard of ancient giants have been unearthed in China, so that's definitely something to be interested in. Let's see, there was another story that came out that was showing a food crisis. They said it's very, very bad at a global level, from the United States to Australia, India, China, and to Europe. There's a food crisis, and our food system is collapsing. Now that's obviously bad news, but it's something that many of us have seen happening. Not just locally, but at a global level. The food system seems to be collapsing. That they said food and water shortages, be prepared for the price dramatically increase, which it already has enough. Here are some recent shocks on the global food system. The world's, just as I stated earlier, the world's 200 wealthiest people have as much money as about 40% of the global population, and yet 850 million people have to go to bed hungry every night. 850 million. Anyway, house collapsed after flooding in India, and as shown in an article by CNBC, and they're doing this again with the stupid advertisements. China's hog herd may drop by 55%. A fatal swine fever, which who knows, they could be causing that themselves, but I'm not going to state much because of conspiracy theory. They'll call me a conspiracy theorist and flag and ban my channel and everything else, you name it. But knowing that China is the #1 pork producer, that's a pretty devastating news. To add fuel to the fire that's already there, the deadly African swine fever has currently been tested. It's been testified in 36 countries around this world, spreading all over Southeast Asia through parts of Europe, and has now been found in Africa too. That is the swine fever. I don't know if that's the same thing as the swine flu or H1N1, but the virus. But they said China's hog herd will drop by about 55%. Usually long-lasting and deadly monsoons in India are unusually long-lasting. They're very deadly, and they are leading to widespread crop failures across the nation. India is one of the top exporters of onions globally. Now, not only do they export onions, they export the watermelons now, which you used to think would come from Mexico, but now they come from India as well. But they sell over, and so do the honeydew melons now. They sell over 2,200 million kilograms overseas. After the prolonged monsoon rains that lasted a lot longer than they expected, India has decided to ban its onion exports. The extended monsoons have also damaged the kharif crops, including pulses, oilseeds, and cotton, as well as soybeans in India. Since September of 2019, that's just 1 month ago, food prices have soared by more than 200% in the country. this is really bad, but Australia will be hit by what they're calling the most unusually high temperatures, and they're actually calling it a heat wave from you-know-where. Unusually high temperatures and dry weather in the next 3 months will be hitting Australia, and this is really bad for its already struggling agricultural sector. Australia's wheat exports are really in bad shape right now, and the future isn't looking bright at all. It's not looking better for Indonesia, where wildfires, smoke, and drought are inflicting an increasingly painful toll on its agriculture, hitting everywhere from the palm plantations to rubber trees and rice fields. Indonesia is the world's top producer of palm oil, the second largest supplier of rubber. The orange greening disease, which is on track to destroy Florida's orange crop. An orange greening disease is #1 producer in the United States is Florida, as you know, and they said it's now finally reached California, sadly, which is the nation's second top producer of citrus fruits, and they've got an orange greening disease there, wiping them out. So we'll see how that goes. I'll follow that. I'm not sure about the updates from the U.S. Midwest crops, which have been significantly delayed because of the flooding, because of flooding this spring, but this rare October heat wave in the South and Midwest has also threatened crops and caused damage, with total losses reported in South Carolina. Meanwhile, the price of soybeans soar in the United States. If you missed the one, they said, there's a fatal banana fungus, which will inevitably wipe out the Cavendish banana crop, likely within 10 years. Of course, none of these issues will spell food shortage on their own, but when taken together, they're a really bad omen for 2020. And it could and will likely worsen in the next decades if nothing is done about it, obviously, they say. But maybe governments aren't focusing on the important issues right now. All they do is argue back and forth continuously. The real threat isn't sea level rise in 2100, but it's the collapse of our agriculture system, of our food system, and how big companies, food producers, and low prices fool producers, low prices, and consumers with high prices. The producers get low prices, consumers get high prices, and they continuously mess over the citizens. Just like they stated, hundreds of millions of people go hungry while the world's top elites, they eat like kings. They eat like kings, they drink like kings, they live it up. They live it up while the rest suffer. You already know that. I'm just kind of rattling on, giving already known information. Am I right? But seriously though, it's a sad picture, but it's true. The Lord's got to take care of us. I'm gonna say out for now. Peace. I love you all, and I'm signing out. I'll talk again later. And thank you for listening and watching, I should say.